Damn you, Peter's internet. Hello one, hello all. We're back with the June 26/7th edition of Show Business. Bearded Movie Guys. Internet once again not handling too well. We would have pushed it, but my schedule's a bit weird. Tomorrow we have that interview with the Crawl or Die people. So I asked an expert of sorts, as somebody who's used to the show. This will be his third appearance. But make no mistake, Bearded Movie Guy is this show. We're just going through some difficulties here. Justin from Stoutman is joining us today. Say hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Third time. What did you say?
Glad I could fill in.
Yes. Last second fill in and a superhero for doing so. So all right, quickly and right off the bat, we'll get to the weekend that was. Finding Dory. Unflappable, held on. What I think is a bit strange is Independence Day, only 42 million. I guess the number that kind of jumps out to me is Free State of Jones. They're at 5 because it's actually kind of surprising to me. I kind of figured The Conjuring would hold on against something like Free State of Jones. It's such a misreleased movie.
Well, how much better did it really do? They both say 8 million. How much better?
Yeah. It's literally like maybe hundreds of thousands. It's not that much at all.
Wow, that's wow. It's still not good, mind you, but it's in terms of like the numbers for Free State of Jones. They're still not good for your first opening weekend.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, it's a disappointment, no matter who you are as far as the studio is concerned. But I'm shocked it did that much because I'm pretty sure all of us kind of saw it coming. Like, why are you doing this in June? like it's not a June movie. I'm dying to know where it did well the most. Maybe those Civil War reenactment places. I just I don't know.
I have no idea. Like we've talked about it before. That movie needs to have been made, or not made, but released in like August or September, something like that. That would have been the perfect time for Free State of Jones.
Yeah,
I guess they were worried of Birth of a Nation, but I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that 1 to 10. Finding Dory, cartoon about fish. Independence Day, movie about the end of the world. Central Intelligence, comedy about two idiots. Shallows, shark scary movie. Free State of Jones, Civil War drama. Conjuring, scary movie. Now You See Me Too, magic movie. X-Men, superheroes. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles saving the world. Alice in the Looking Glass, this bizarre fucking Disney movie. Which one of these does not fit? They're all extravagant cartoony type stories, and then you have Free State of Jones.
Fun, depression.
Civil War. Enjoy your popcorn. The one that's not on that list that was also, there was 4 releases this weekend. Neon Demon came in 12th. Yeah, kind of depressing. It was in 7. Listen, it was only in 700 theaters, but it came in 12th at like $600,000, which
I think the important thing I think this will say it all right. The Lobster was in 200 theaters this weekend, and it earned $436,000. So if The Lobster can earn $436,000 in 500 fewer theaters, and the Neon Demon just came out this week, that's bad,
dude. Why don't you look at, if you're looking at Box Office Mojo, why don't you look at number 23? Look at that gross, and look at the number of theaters.
Oh my God! Yes. Oh my God.
Swiss Army Man made $114,000, which is just about a fifth of what Neon Demon made in 3 theaters.
In 3 theaters. I don't know how that's even possible.
That's an average of $38,000 per theater.
How How?
Yeah.
There must have been packed theaters for every damn showing.
Yeah, stacked, sold out shows. Yeah, that's
Wow.
impressive. So
We
yeah,
weren't sure whether or not we wanted to release it right now. Release it! Do it! People want to see this movie, clearly.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what? Like, I'm assuming that's like what, Los Angeles, maybe? Los Angeles and maybe in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 theaters is.
Only LA and New York. It's
Gotta be, right? Not like some weird podunk Nebraska theater that's like, yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, I was one of the people who went to see Neon Demon, and I was all alone in that theater. There was nobody else. Just got to the point where I'm like, all right, I'll just pick my nose in. Who fucking cares? Nobody else here. Got the theater all to myself.
It's so sad. It's sad because it's something like it's different, and for the sake of just change of pace, I really want different to kind of win right now, because, man, come on. And I don't like Free State of Jones is not my idea of different, for the record. Like, what the fuck?
What? It's different in that it's stupid. Not that the movie's stupid, but that the way they released it, it sold it, and the time that they everything about the distribution of this film was retarded. It was just, what were they doing? What did they think they were doing?
I don't know. I mean, granted, they're in 1,200 less houses than the 2 bigger ones, the Independence Day and the Shallows. Actually, no, I scratched that. Shallows actually is only in about 150 more theaters than Free State, and did nearly double.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, more than double. I take that back. And Independence Day is in about 1,200 extra theaters, and that did what it did. The per theater average of Free State was $27.61. Not much better. Only about $200 plus over Conjuring 2. So and Alice Through the Looking Glass at a per theater is at $43.38. So I mean, it's been chopped down to less than 500 theaters, but it's still kind of making money,
Mm-hmm.
which is bizarre. Really, really bizarre. It's just probably going to linger there at like 9, 10, 11 for a couple of weeks, I guess.
Nobody thought that movie was going to make its budget back, but, well,
yeah.
Thank you, China.
Say that for everything. Let me see. Do I have China's number 6? So Independence Day whoa. Independence Day is a bit of a miss. 41 million isn't that great.
I wasn't even expecting it to be that low. That was a surprise to me. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but you have a theory about next weekend, right?
Yeah, it's fairly simple theory. All right, next weekend is 4th of July weekend. What's the movie everybody's going to go see on 4th of July?
Independence Day. Yes. It'll be interesting. I would imagine at the very least it'll plateau. I mean, you think it'll kick up a little bit, right? You think it's maybe 50, 60?
Yeah, at least that. I'm guessing 90 million, honestly. That's my, Hail Mary. That's totally going to happen, but probably not.
Yeah, word of mouth might take a little wind out of that one.
Yeah, probably. From what I've heard. But yeah, I can imagine it doing at least 50 or 60.
Yeah.
Just based on the whole, 4th of July weekend thing.
Yeah, next weekend isn't really, there's just BFG. So it's not like anything similar comes out. So if you want, dumb action, it's not like there's,
You got that and Ninja Turtles. That's about it.
Yeah. So you're right. So that there's if you're all right, so we waited a couple of weeks to see something stupid on 4th of July. Why not see the thing that celebrates its namesake? Oddly enough, it made 101 million foreign, and once again, leading the charge of that foreign market is China.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. Oh, it doesn't have it. Damn it doesn't have broken down yet. Okay.
Welcome to the New World Order.
Yeah, yeah.
When it comes to film.
Uh,
I mean, you said it. We were talking about that movie. You went to see it, didn't you?
yes, I saw two this weekend. I saw Shallows and Independence Day.
All right. And you were
And
saying that there's some, you know.
oh, they go out of their way to appease their new friendly audience. There's there's literally characters. They have like this general, like they. So the deal of the movie is we've adapted and learned some of the alien technology,
Mhm.
and so we put up a defense base on the moon, and the man in charge of the moon is none other than a Chinese general, and he's got this great Chinese war hero niece that when she comes into the moon, like everybody wants her autograph, and like they really play up how great these Chinese are. It's like it's literally to the point where like, man, what the hell is going on here? Why are they focusing so much on China? Like it's so strange. But yeah, when you look at the box office numbers, it's not so strange.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, the Shallows. I'm kind of glad for that. Fun little
Oh, I
time.
was really happy.
Was that?
Even up until I think it was a night or two ago. I think it was actually Friday night. They were predicting still that it wasn't going to make its budget back. They were predicting it was going to be like 13 or 14 mil. So the mere fact that it made back like the full production budget to
Yeah,
me is just like that's a win.
yeah,
That right there. And that to me also suggests word of mouth had something to do with that because, you know, if they're guessing that it's going to be 13 or 14 mil and then suddenly it's 17 mil, somebody's saying something, you know?
sure, sure.
And a lot of the people that I've seen talking about this movie, not just in reviews, but just, you know, people talking about it have been saying it's really good. I saw it myself. I thought it was okay, but that's just me.
Yeah, no, it's an all right time. Listen, we're in a time of year where it's if something sticks with you that you saw in the movie theater at this time of year, like that's awesome. It's just kind of like a you're kind of going to the bathroom at this point. In between like late May and early August, it's you're just kind of rinsing. It's just
Mhm.
you're just doing something. It's you want to go bowl or watch that blank movie. It's either or. It's it's I don't know. Like
It's
I
ironic
said,
you say that because I specifically remember when I was younger, the movie theater that we'd always go to was right across the street from a bowling alley. And so, like, that's absolutely true. Yes, that's what would happen.
yeah, it's a Saturday night or a Friday night, where whatever it is in your case, and you're like, all right, well, we don't want to stay in. Do you want to do blank or blank? Well, the theater has air conditioning, so let's go watch aliens blow up the planet.
Yep.
I mean, sometimes it's literally just that. Fuck it. I'm not going to go out and buy an air conditioner. I'll just go hang out in the movie theater for 2 hours and relax. I had an uncle who used to go to the movie theater just to take a nap. Like he would literally just say, just give me the longest movie. And they're like, what? Yeah, he's like, yeah, just give me the longest movie. I just want to sleep. They're like, what? Okay, dude, just buy a goddamn air conditioner. Shit. Um, yeah, nothing else really sticks out. Civil War finally dropped out of the top 10. Oh, I know it sticks out. Um, so there's a movie that opened only 2 weeks ago that is not in that top 10. I'm looking at these numbers, and you wouldn't think it's a failure looking everywhere but domestic. 10.6% of its worldwide gross is domestic, and that number just 10.6% of its gross is in America. That doesn't make any sense.
It utterly
Warcraft.
failed. It utterly failed here. Oh my god.
Warcraft only pulling in 43,886,000, and it's worldwide. It's 368 and counting. And China, it's 200 million plus. Where I think I have a title card for you. Yep, here you are. it has to be considered a disaster at this point, because I mean it opened to 24 million. It took a 70% drop week 2, and then week 3 again it took another 70% drop. It's down to 2 million. It finished in 11th. You look at stuff that was considered, like I went and found some of the big quote unquote disasters of the last decade or so, and you know they all really point to John Carter. And John Carter, you know, first of all, opened in second as well. It didn't have that far a drop like Warcraft did. It dropped to 14 million. 55% is nothing great either, but it's not 70. And then the third week, it only dropped 1 position, and still not 70%. It dropped 63%. Like, somebody's got to acknowledge that Warcraft is listen. And part of the reason that nobody's really talking about it is China is just scooping it up and asking for seconds. 412 million worldwide, but only 44 domestic. What?
What?
What's going on here?
This, I have to say, this has to be historic. I mean, I can't think of any other movie that has done this poorly in the United States and this well overseas. You know?
Yeah, you would think it's like a Chinese movie or something.
I've never seen that 10%, 90% disparity before in my entire life. And if only for that, that's like a reason to look at this and be like, holy crap, what the hell's going on here? You know, like,
yeah.
Take like note, this never happens.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Like, guys, is anybody awake yet? Because, like, seriously, shit's changing. Like I said, if unless maybe it was like Ip Man or something, like something from China, it would make sense for this to be like, oh, okay, it only made 10% of the budget in America because it's a Chinese film. No, this is an American film that just isn't making money in America. For 70% twice in a row, that just doesn't happen. Fucking like Waterworld was in first. Yeah. Oh yeah. Go ahead. You do Fantastic Four. I'll do Waterworld because I remember that one being a shitty one.
You all love the weekends, please. All right. Oh Jesus, yeah. Fantastic Four had a 68.2% drop.
Okay.
In the first weekend.
Did it continue and get even higher?
No.
50 or
actually,
something like that.
That was like, 54.3 and then 53.3.
Yeah, usually it kind of, it doesn't intensify. It kind of dies down.
Mm-hmm.
Like the level of failure doesn't go, whoa, shit, now we're going faster. It kind of like, okay, all right, people aren't liking it. It'll start to plateau a little bit, but it's getting worse.
Well, I think one of the reasons, at least this time around, for this movie, and the domestic market at least, is that there's so much competition. I'm thinking, how many people, if they've seen everything else, except for the Free State of Jones and Warcraft, how many people are going to say, I'm going to see that Warcraft movie? They probably, if they didn't want to see it by this point, they probably don't care about it,
Yeah. Oh, I'm actually, Waterworld actually is quite, I don't know why that's, it didn't make its money back, but first place, two firsts. First and first, 21 million, 13 million. And then it dropped to third with 8.6, which I would round up to 9. And then down to fifth place, 5 million. But it's like you said, it's a different time where it wasn't like there wasn't 5 movies every weekend just pushing it out of the way. But Waterworld, 36% drop, 36% drop, 38% drop, 30. See, that's like normal, like 30, 50, somewhere in between. Like opening weekend, it like usually it goes like 50% drop to second weekend. And then it kind of like 30, 50, somewhere in that range between 30 and 50. But 70 followed by 70, that's scary.
I feel like the audience, the domestic audience, in a lot of ways is changing, obviously, because, you know, you've got a lot of people who are just sick and tired of seeing the same old thing in theaters, and, you know, they get the same old thing and they're just like, no, I'm not going to see this. Or, you know, I don't know. But I also feel like it's changing in that the same audience that used to go see movies even 20 years ago isn't going to see movies now. They're waiting until it comes to home video or something, or video on demand or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a wider audience that does that now, obviously, than did it before. So I don't know if that, like, I got to figure there's something contributing to this, that disparity between what used to be a 50% drop and what is now like a, you know, becoming 60 and 70% drops between the weekends.
Yeah. See, it's strange. I mean, you look at that, and I think, yes, the movie theaters, the way that we traditionally know them, perhaps is maybe lesser, if not, it's not the same anymore. Where movies were the prime choice of entertainment week in, week out. It may not be the number one thing anymore, or it's you know, not as strong as it used to be. But I feel like there are still, you know, people who want to see a movie and kind of go out of their way to, like, that Swiss Army Man, $100,000 in 3 theaters is like, you know, people are I would hope that somebody would take notice of that, you know, $38,000 per theater for a movie that, you know, they're unsure of. It's like, guys, maybe you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like when do they start?
Don't know what people want to see,
right?
You know?
When do they start looking inward? Like,
they didn't think that fucking Deadpool was going to be a success.
Exactly.
Bam.
Perfect use for an analogy there. Like, guys, like, you know, talk to the music industry about how ignorant and fucking stubborn they were. Listen, I'm not saying that we're going to fall by the way of Napster with movies, but like, they were so fucking stubborn. And now it's all you do is buy singles. Like, people don't really buy albums. I mean, people do. There's purists, but it's more of a la carte deal that they're doing. Even these monthly radio services, to think that they used to fight over $2 on CD sales. Like, guys, guess what? You're not selling CDs anymore. Like, do you want to fight about that $2 now? They would. I'm sure they would kick themselves in the teeth just to give you the $2 back, just to be able to sell CDs again.
Well, I'll tell you what. The reason I keep bringing up in these discussions the new Hollywood movement is because that's very much what it was like in the '60s, in the mid '60s, and there's just starting to. I don't even think they were really noticing it at that time. I just think they were going on along doing their thing, doing their Hello Dollies and all that shit, and. You know, some audiences were buying into it, and some audiences were just getting sick and fucking tired of it. And it took them a while before they started actually, you know, to realize that they didn't know what audiences wanted anymore. They couldn't reach a particular audience. But at least they actually came to that realization at some point, late 60s, early 70s. They came to that realization and started putting money into movies that wouldn't normally get any kind of funding or anything. So,
yeah, there's some really good movies out there in the '70s that that you could point to as probably a result of that.
Tons. I honestly, personally, I credit the existence of the blockbuster. I credit them. I credit the New Hollywood for that. Because if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have things like Jaws. We wouldn't have had things like that, or Star Wars. I don't think that would have happened. These kind of like what at the time would have been like off the wall kind of things, just not expected kind of things. I don't
What do you
think those would have been made.
what do you see, like, let's say that there's another sort of movement. What type of landscape is in the aftermath of that?
Now, you're not gonna like it. VOD. I think it's. I think that is the like where everything is going to start to move, because you can make a movie for fairly cheap, and then get it distributed on Netflix or something else.
I mean,
And word of mouth.
that's happening. I mean,
Yeah.
they just released a movie this weekend. I mean, it didn't look that incredible, but it's starting.
I mean, I
So,
looked at the Neon Demon. Even I went to go see
mm,
the Neon Demon, and they were showing a bunch of trailers for things from Amazon Studios. One of those was Cafe Society, a Woody Allen movie that Amazon Studios helped to produce, apparently. Either helped to produce or distribute it. But these are not normal studios. These are
yeah,
companies clearly more interested in getting that content on their service.
yeah.
So
So, all right. So let's say there's like a happy medium here where theater chains say, all right, you know what? All right, we give, please just hold off on the VOD thing. We'll give you something. You just got to hold off on the VOD. What does it mean? Something like more access to, maybe not independent movies, but movies that perhaps wouldn't have a shot normally? Could that be something that could happen on
I
the,
think it already is happening. I mean,
it,
to be honest, I was really surprised that in what is now, I'm living now in more of like a podunk town, so to speak.
uh-huh.
It's not as big as the one I was in Portland. It's smaller, but they were playing Neon Demon here anyways. And so that was a surprise to me. And then another thing that's a surprise to me is that that movie was playing in like over 700 theaters. To me, I look at a movie like that and I think, used to be that kind of movie wouldn't be, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, wouldn't be playing in more than 100 theaters, maybe at best. So I think they're already starting to branch out. I mean, even The Shallows to me strikes me as a movie that would not normally be shown in theaters, but it got distributed in 2,800, 2,900 theaters this
Yeah.
weekend. So I feel like they are sort of kind of branching out a bit to try and appease that domestic audience that's sick and tired of the same old crap. But I don't know how much longer that's going to last or what's going to happen as a result. All I know is, if anything like New Hollywood happens again, then we're in for something good. But I'm worried because I don't think that can happen very quickly or with the same amount of speed as the original movement happened, when you've got things like China to consider, when they can always rely on other markets for their big budget Hollywood movies. They're going to keep making those movies anyways.
Yeah, you know what? There could be this continued stubborn, ignorant path. I mean, they could go down this where the landscape ends up being, you have stuff that's mostly produced by Chinese-backed companies in movie theaters, and all this fun independent stuff that you would like really have a hard time finding by today's standards. You're getting that like day and date on VOD. Meanwhile, you're having like 6 screens of Warcraft and like insert Chinese backed movie here in the rest of the theater, and maybe you'll have something that is normal by American release standards. Like you'll have some sort of Disney Pixar movie on the other 5 screens. Like it could get really strange as far as going to a theater's concerned. I mean, because I look at next weekend, and BFG, I could see. Listen, Spielberg, that name isn't platinum the way it used to be.
Nope. I wish it was. I love the man. I love his work. He's one of my favorite directors. But if I'm being honest, it's just no. He doesn't have the same pull anymore, and for good reason. He really. I mean, he's done some really good stuff in the past few years, but it hasn't been the same kind of stuff as what he used to do.
Right.
And I think audiences get that, you know.
Right. The BFG. I mean, yeah, maybe 30 million, 40 million. I don't know. I would assume younger audiences would rather see Finding Dory a second time, or who have waited to go see it a first time, rather than the BFG. Legend of Tarzan comes out next week too, and I don't think people care, want it, know who's in it.
Yeah.
Alexander Skarsgård, like, yeah, maybe at the pinnacle of True Blood being popular, maybe does it get some sort of oomph? But Samuel L. Jackson and Christoph Waltz, I'm sorry, it's not Tarantino directing you, so people don't give a fuck. And Margot Robbie, I don't think she's that strong a name yet to carry a movie. I think after the end of this summer, when we see her in something else, she might be able to.
The movie looks fun. I'm just not interested in seeing it right away, especially not when I've got so many different fucking options, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and if I'm average Joe Schmo going to see a movie and I haven't seen anything in a while and I've got all these options, Legend of Tarzan is not going to be at the top of my list, you know what I mean?
Right. And of course,
I've seen a million Tarzan movies.
Yeah, and then you say, oh, who's in that? And then you list it off to Joe Main Street. They're going to be like, who?
Yeah.
They're not going to know Alexander Skarsgård. I'm sorry. And then you have the Purge election year. It's so strange that children's movie horror 3 weeks in a row. Children's movie horror. Yeah.
When you think about it, those are the ones that have the best chance of actually making money. So that's why they're doubling down on that. I mean, I've seen personally that the movie industry, they are making a boatload of money in the past few years, right? So they act like they're in danger and they're in trouble. What they really mean by they're in trouble is they don't know what the fuck people want to watch anymore. They have a possibility of making a lot of money right now because people want to see movies, but they don't know what movies people want to see, so they're scared because you can tell they wouldn't be putting out all these kids movies and horror movies and kids movies and horror movies and kids movies and horror movies if they weren't terrified because they didn't know of anything else that people wanted to see, you know?
Free State of Jones. What are you guys doing? Do you guys
that to me is like evidence right there.
Yeah.
They don't know what people want or when they want it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just why would you do that? I feel so bad for BFG though, because honestly I feel like if they had just called it the Big Friendly Giant, and people would, because people are going to go up to the fucking theater and be like, BFG, what's that? I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a Spielberg movie? Oh, well, he hasn't really done much. That was really interesting. Didn't he do that Real Steel movie or something? You know, the average Joe Schmo, even family, going to see a movie, you're going to see BFG, and they're not going to know what the hell it's even about or why they should go see it.
It's not an animated movie, right? It's just he's a CGI giant, right?
Well, it is. There's some animation and some not animation.
So
it's CGI essentially, heavily CGI. It's
The Hobbit on the map.
What do you call it? It's the same guy who did all the like the Polar Express and stuff like that.
Okay. So it's like a weird mixture.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. A little too saturated to be real. but not entirely an animated movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Honestly, when I just the last trailer that I saw, the first thing that I thought was, this kind of reminds me of the Page Master. You know,
Oh wow.
That's what it feels like, at least in terms of the way they made the movie.
And again, if we're looking at actors' faces, Ruby Barnhill, Rebecca Hall, Jermaine Clement, and Mark Rylance is the giant. But
the horror fans are going to be happy because they're going to be like, you know what, we went to see Conjuring 2, that was fun. Let's go see The Purge 3, and then a couple weeks later they have Lights Out. So they have the horror fans taken care of in terms of films this summer.
it's strange. The horror guy in me. I mean, I can't complain. They're pumping out major releases. I just want something big. You can keep your 6 releases every 2 months. You know, maybe chop it down in half. Give me 3, but make one of them fucking count. Like, I don't. Yeah, like you said, The Shallows is okay.
Well, I mean, when you go back and you look at the new Hollywood, right? One thing that I think is different is that a lot of the movies that got made that were different, that were, changed the way things they were remakes. They were pretty much just remakes. I mean, Bonnie and Clyde was a remake. Easy Rider was not a remake, but God, what's another one that I'm thinking of?
Technically, Ben-Hur was. Oh no, that was before, wasn't it?
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. That is absolutely a remake. Like True. No, not True Grit. What am I thinking about? No, I was thinking about the new True Grit.
It inspired.
They've got a lot of remakes in there. I mean, they've got a lot of new stuff, but they've also got a lot of remakes, and I feel like the remakes very much kind of help to push studios to consider paying for these newer, different takes on things. And you've got that revisionist Western in there too. You've got the Once Upon a Time in the West. You've got all the spaghetti Westerns coming out and coming in to play there. And they're just taking this completely different take on Westerns at that point. And there was like this glut of Westerns at that point that were different from what the traditional Western was. So, I mean, it's not like they were completely new and completely different things, and that's why people were attached to them. It's that they were things people were familiar with that a incredibly talented director just flipped on its head, kind of thing, just changed everything about it and made it. And instead of making it a John Ford movie, they made it a fucking violent, bloody. There's a reason that Quentin Tarantino's movies do so goddamn well. That's what people want to see.
Yeah. You know what? It's almost at a. I mean, it is at a point where, I mean, you have somebody like Tarantino where he literally could say, "I'm going to take a children's movie and crossbreed it with a Western and crossbreed that with a Civil War drama, and then it's going to have some horror elements." And you're like, whatever you tell us, sir, just tell us when it's coming out. Like, he's literally like, it's. I mean, I'm trying to think. I guess Spielberg is the last time that was the case, but Hitchcock, it used to be, all right, Hitchcock's making a movie. It wasn't who's in it. It's, Hitchcock's making a movie. You go and see it. Spielberg, it was like that for a while, and I feel like Tarantino is like that now, where it's it's the exact opposite of what I was just talking about with Tarzan, where it's like, all right, it doesn't matter who's in it, as long as so and so is making it, I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
And
as long as it's a different spin on the thing, just anything.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like I'm going to take this into August here.
Okay.
Why I look at something like Sausage Party, and I think that could actually be a pretty like surprising success because
Sure.
it's an R-rated CGI film. I think a lot of parents are going to take their kids to see that mistakenly, this big thing, but there are also going to be a lot of the 16 to 24 who either, they're too young and they're sneaking in, or they're just the right age for that and they're going to love it. Like, I think that could be one of those movies that it's like, it's a CGI animated movie, but it's for adults.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's something that's a bit of a twist on the norm that everybody's are so familiar with.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of had the toes dipped in the water too a bit with the Lego movie. Yeah, it was a kids movie, but it was really sharp, and I mean, it's not like there was F-bombs or anything, but it was funny enough for adults where it'd be fun to have these new dramas being flipped, and not dramas, new genres flipped, and you have animated movies for adults. Because it looks hysterical. If you close your ears and just watch it, it's just like, oh, okay, it's looks like a DreamWorks type animated movie, and oh wait, it's losing its guts. Wait, hold on a second. This is interesting. Yeah, it for the most part, it's basically Toy Story with food. So why won't it work? It's gotta.
It's the Bonnie and Clyde of CGI animated films. But no, like the last time we saw an adult animated film, like I'm thinking of. Oh well, yeah, that is true. Yeah, I was just thinking like, the last time adult animated films were really big in theaters were like the 70s. It was that time.
Yeah.
So I feel like there are reasons to be excited about the possibilities of the future. Cautiously optimistic. Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. I mean, there's selection. I'm looking here, and there's at least 5 movies per weekend. Whether or not those 5 movies get out there, it's just hard to be a fan of something like. I'm just here with my thumbs, just twiddling, waiting for The Green Room. I mean, there are some movies that if you have an interest in, you really got to keep track of it because some of them just kind of go away, and I mean, they're not going to spend money advertising a movie that they didn't want to put in theaters to begin with. So it's really unfortunate that somebody who wants to see a movie, like, you have to do the work to make sure you can get it, and when it's available, like, I'm pretty sure that's not how they want things done at the studios. Like, why you're going to lose so many people that way? There's just too much. There's too much, and there's no excuse for a lot of these things to get shut out. Fucking Swiss Army Man making $38,000 per theater. Expand the damn thing. I don't understand.
If they don't expand that this next weekend, I'm going to be shocked, for one thing. I mean, why? Yeah. Why then do I see the trailer for it during every fucking movie that I go to see? Why? Why would you do that unless you had intentions?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's got to. I need a job interview with whoever this position would be. If it doesn't exist, I'll create it. But they need to have like this person who coordinates, even if it ends up being a thing. Like, because I don't know by you, but by me, there's theaters, like, you usually have around 2 theaters within 10 miles of each other, and I guess they don't want to compete or whatever. But if you look at them, they're showing the same shit. Like, Like Finding Dory is going to be on at least 3 screens. Independence Day is going to be on at least 3 screens. The Conjuring's on one. The Shallows is on one. And like literally, you could just copy it right down the line. How about you do a thing where it's like, all right, guys, we're going to alternate, but you guys got to share this print and make room for it. You're gonna get Swiss Army Man, but Theater A is going to have it on Sunday. Theater B is going to have it on Monday. Theater A is going to have it on Tuesday. Theater B is going to have it on Wednesday. And if you guys really have enough interest and it starts making money, you guys, we'll send you another copy, and you guys can have it. You both can have it for the weekend if you'd like. It used to be you would go to Theater A for this movie because it wasn't playing in Theater B. But now it's popular movie 1 through 6 are in every theater, and that doesn't make sense.
Now it's just like, well, who's going to have the not so popular movie? And
right,
you really have to dig, because most of the time it's like there's not even any competition with it. It's just like randomly one theater decided, yeah, we're going to pick this one up. Like, okay, it's gotten to the point where it's very much like in Portland, there was one theater that I knew of as the Independent Theater. That was the movie theater where you could expect to find independent films. They also had the 1 through 5s, but they showed independent films as well.
Yeah, that's the way it kind of should be, I would imagine. See, I'm looking for
there should be more theaters like that, and there's only, if you're in the right market, you'll find at least one theater like that. But if you're not in that market, you're fucked. You're just screwed.
Right, exactly. So I brought up my local indie theater, and they're kind of small. They even, they're full bore with their independentness. They have 2 types of popcorn. They have like the non-salted, non-oiled. It basically is like rice cakes. The without all the rice, it's just fucking. You're basically chewing fucking styrofoam. It's not really popcorn, but all the people from Brooklyn like that stuff. See, I would call them posers, but
the 88s.
Yeah, no, not the 88s. The fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? Not the guys who were
hipsters.
Hipster, yeah, that's it, hipsters. So at this theater is Maggie's Plan, Genius, The Witness, Doe, and Yo-Yo Ma and the Silk Road Ensemble.
Wow.
I mean, I've heard of Maggie's Plan. Like, it's too far independent.
I think of half of those.
Oh, really? Okay.
Maybe, but I couldn't tell you what any of them were about.
Yeah. It's strange. It's like I don't know, something like Swiss Army Man. I would think isn't like indie. I would think that's more like just low end mainstream, like low end mainstream. But some of this stuff, like this is independent personified. There's extremes, and it's really strange. Like the stuff that people would actually want to see is actually getting cut out. I don't know how that happens, how that gets fixed. I guess I know how it gets fixed. Like kind of what I was talking about. You get these, like if you have 10 screens, come on, at least 10 screens. I mean, by me there's a 15 plex and I think there's a 12 plex too. Like 15 screens. Come on, man. Like what are you doing? Put 2 shows up of a movie that you get 1 daytime show and 1 night show, and that's it. You get like a 2 o'clock and an 8 o'clock or a 9 o'clock. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But
Well, I feel like the problem gets like the more screens you have, the bigger the problem gets because the more screens you have, the more that the theater is going to want to take a popular movie and put it in as many of their theaters as possible.
Yeah, yeah,
Or a big showing movie and put it in as many theaters as possible because that gives them in their eyes, the greatest chance of making their money back. I mean, historically speaking, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's always going to be the case, but that's, I think, what they tend to look at, and one of the reasons that they do that. But the problem is, if you're somebody going to see a movie, it used to be, I remember, it used to be that you'd go to the theater and you'd be like, well, this is a movie I came to see, but it's not showing again for another hour or so. This one is showing in 20 minutes. I think I'll check this one out. That used to happen. It doesn't happen anymore because you go to fucking see Finding Dory and, oh, I missed my showing. Oh, there's another one in 20 minutes. Like,
yes, yes, yes.
give me perfect amount of time to get some popcorn. Great. Like,
yeah, convenience has become a really, really big thing that we're kind of taking advantage of too. Like now they have like this faux TV show thing that they play before they play the trailers, where there's a couple of commercials, there's a couple like behind the scenes things. They're talking about an upcoming TV show or whatever, and it's always Maria Menounos that's on it, and it's like Entertainment Tonight, just like stretched out and like really specific. It's like, you can't have people sit in your movie theater and just sit. Like they've got to be occupied, and I used to wait in line for 30 minutes for a big movie because I wanted to get a decent seat, or I wanted tickets. Now it's you pay in advance, you pick the seat you want. Theoretically somebody could walk in for an 8 o'clock show at 8:02 and still sit in the middle of the theater. It's so strange.
they think that, like, I won't say that they're wrong that people want convenience.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get as many people into the theater as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, I think one of the reasons that people are getting so frustrated with their options at the theaters because you've gone so far to convenience them by playing the same movie in 3 or 4 different fucking theaters.
Spoiled.
That you've actually limited what they can do at the theater. You've limited their possibility of saying, well, instead of seeing this, since it's going to take a while to see it, I'm going to see this instead. Like that doesn't happen anymore. They have no chance to actually discover something new randomly because, well, their show that they wanted to see wasn't showing at that particular time, or that showing was sold out. God forbid we should have a sold out showing. I mean,
yeah, it's strange, and it's like you just said, sold out shows. They're even less and less a thing now too. It's you have an oddly specific time that you go to. It's not 7, 8, 9. Now it's like 7, 7:15, 7:30, 7:40, 7:50, 8, 8:10, 8:15, and they really they fill up those high traffic hours. And of course, you're not going to sell out because you have people spreading to going to the movies that they want at their specific time that they want to go. It's man, you used to schedule your night around the movie, and now it's the movie fits into your schedule. And it's
the crazy thing about that to me is I think the reason they do that is because they're afraid from years past. They have this fear from years past where somebody's going to come to see the movie that they want to see, not going to be able to see it, and leave. You've got 15 fucking screens now. You really think somebody's going to come to see a movie, not be able to see the movie they wanted to see, and just say no to the other 14 options? I mean, the chances of that happening are not as great as they were when there were only 3 screens out there. You know,
I'll tell you what,
3 movies.
that's where the theaters could actually turn around and go to the studios and be like, listen, yeah, we appreciate it. Please don't go to VOD. Let's stress that we appreciate this. But, you know, we have people here, and if they don't want to see Finding Dory, there's, you know, their choices otherwise aren't exactly that great. Can you start giving us films that are worthwhile? Like, I think part of it is like, you know, theaters, like the last time I was at a theater, we had stuff like The Aviator, uh, Ray. Like there were over a period of time, at least there was at least one movie that I could point to and say that's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's long stretches now where, you know, a theater manager could be like, all right, so that show sold out. What can I go to? What's a good movie? And like, without lying to you, the theater manager's like, I don't know. There's loud explosions in this one. It's really strange how, like, it seems like the really great movies aren't making it to theaters. And I guess it's like this circle of an argument. But yeah, you take out the convenience, but, you know, reward some of that. And
I'm not even saying take out all the convenience. You know, if you want to
I
show a
know.
movie, you want to show the movie on 2. If you want to show Finding Dory on 2 screens and Independence Day on 2 screens and, you know, Central Intelligence maybe even on 2 screens. If you want to show these all on 2 screens, then fine, right? But that doesn't mean that you should just not show something like The Neon Demon or Swiss Army Man or Green Room, or just refuse to pick that up. I mean,
The Nice Guys.
You have a chance to show something different to people because you have so many different fucking screens. And I'll tell you what, I don't think that if people went to see a movie at 7:30 and they discovered that they weren't going to be able to make it to that one, but that the next one was at 8, I don't think that they're going to say, fuck this, I'm leaving. I think they're going to take a look at that and say, well, then I'll be early for the next show.
Yeah. And you know what's great about that? There's a fucking TV show playing, so they're not exactly bored.
Yeah.
It's your faux Entertainment Tonight is playing.
Two screens, 2, maybe 3 at most. But I mean, even then, if you've got 15 screens, you've got enough room for some of the other stuff that people who don't want to see Finding Dory will enjoy, you know? And I guess Neon Demon I don't think is a good example because clearly people didn't want to see that. Clearly that just wasn't successful. But
well,
you know, a lot of people want to see Green Room. A lot of people, I think, want to see the Swiss Army Man. So, you know.
Do you think too much choice or not enough choice is bad? Because I feel like a theater that has 15 screens, never at any point should they have less than 10 movies. Because I feel like it defeats the purpose of having 15 screens. Although 15 movies, who knows, maybe sometimes it would be 16, 18, 20. Could that be bad too, where the person's just standing there like, all right, I've narrowed it down to 4.
You got a point. I think that would too much would be. It's not easy. I understand that it's not easy to be like, well, you need to show more movies in your theater, and you need to stop showing these movies all the fucking time. Like, well, now those are their money makers. I get it, but at the same time, I just feel like, you know, instead of showing like 5 movies in 10 theaters, and on 10 screens, and then giving the. I guess you could do that. Yeah, that would work to me. 5 movies on 10 screens.
Sure.
You devote the other 5 to 5 different movies. There, you've got 10 movies.
Yep.
And it's still a lot there, but I would even say devote like your most popular films, devote 3 screens to those, and then just have like 3, maybe 4 other movies that people can watch.
Sure.
There you go. There's not too much for people to parse through,
Yeah, and it's like each show. I think it's something like 5 shows per screen. So if you have three prints of a certain film, you're getting 15 showings in that day. I would even say just give me 1 screening out of that. Give me 1 showtime out of that for something different. Give me 1 green room in those 15 shows, and you own the 3 theaters with this one particular movie, but I'm getting 1 showtime with this green room. I'm going to get an 8 p.m. show, but you have a 7:30 showing in this theater, and then a 9:30 showing, or a 9 o'clock showing in this theater, and then by the next time when the green room is done, you're right back into the swing of things. You'll have a 10 o'clock show, a 10:30, and 11, and nobody will even notice it.
I'm imagining, like, if I had money, like copious amounts of money, I'd probably try and set up some kind of some kind of something between myself and the studios, and just like, or not the studios, but the theaters, and just try to get them to pick up movies that they wouldn't normally pick up more frequently. Like, pay them to pick up movies that they wouldn't normally pick up, just so that it broadens people's opportunity to see movies. I feel like that would be like
an
artistic endeavor or something. I feel like that's something that Bill Gates should be doing right now. Like, you want to do something great for the arts. Well, the way the studio system works with the theaters right now is just fucking cancer. So you should probably, there's something you can do to like change that, I think.
Yeah, it's investing in the process.
Yeah. Because I think once they realize that they can actually make money off of these movies, once they realize that, and once people start to get a taste for something other than whatever the fuck is out, from the major studios, that'll change everything. It has a potential to change everything.
Absolutely.
But it would take, I think at this point right now, it would take something like a anonymous investor to just set up some kind of not a system, but like a not for profit kind of something or other.
Yeah.
Just like trying to get these studios, or not studios, sorry.
Yeah, a slightly heavier hitter than Miramax. Something like what Miramax was, but just slightly heavier a hitter.
Mm-hmm.
Like Disney. I think Disney was associated with Miramax for a little bit. Just redo that, and fuck, you're dumping money what seems to be every other year in bombs anyway. I mean, if you think about John Carter, Tomorrowland, Mars Needs Moms, Lone Ranger, there's like $500 million in wasted money there. I mean, as far as independents are concerned, you have like an entire year's worth of independent movies with all that budget. Like, just come on. Who knows? You're gonna lose the money anyway on your next Johnny Depp fucking movie. Just gamble a little bit. Shit.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey.
That movie did make money. Alice in the Looking Glass. Thanks to foreign markets. It made its production budget.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. This shit movies are now getting this do-over, this phone a friend thing from China that I don't know what that means, but it certainly isn't good for Americans seeking quality.
Because we're gonna keep seeing this fucking shit
Yeah.
every goddamn week for several years until even China gets tired of it.
You would
That's what it's gonna take.
you would think that like the new game plan would be, all right, you know what? It's not for us, but China loves it. We'll put it on 700 screens, and if it makes money, we could always increase it. But let's give a chance to something people want. See, like that would be the common sense thing to do, because Warcraft is a perfect example. People don't want it. They're just taking it out of more and more and more. It's down to 700 screens. In its place, on the other 2,300 other screens, you don't even have to put 2,300 prints of the green room. Have another 700 of the green room, another 700 of Neon Demon, and you fill up the rest with Swiss Army Man. Like it feels like it's easy. I don't know. Like if somebody's getting paid to make these decisions, like have they been fired yet? And or can I have their job? Because
whoever was behind the Free State of Jones debacle, just I'll take their job.
Right.
Clearly, they don't have it anymore.
Yeah, like
if they do,
either,
then that's an injustice.
They need a vacation because they're not focused anymore. Because I don't.
We'll put it in June.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Blame it on your assistant. I was joking when I said that.
Oh God.
Like, they need to start
when the assistant
caring.
gets fired. Yep.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
That's how they stay in this.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the Tom Rothmans of the world continue to fuck us over.
Yeah. I hope the person that's making these decisions is related to, I don't know, Joe Paramount or whatever, because otherwise, like the person that hired him needs to be fired too, because they just don't care. And listen, we all lose focus at our jobs at certain points. I mean, this isn't exactly a dream job for me, but I would certainly love to try. I would give a shit for at least a little while. Who knows? Maybe there's politics and red tape, and I would certainly imagine that.
The same studio that produced Free State of Jones, also STX, they also did The Boy and Hardcore Henry. And I'm looking at Hardcore Henry thinking that was a pretty poorly timed thing too. I mean,
that was like March, right? February, March, or something like that.
I think that would have been better, actually, in the summer. If they had switched those, if they had switched Hardcore Henry with Free State of Jones, it would have been a completely different story.
Yeah. There's a lot of that. Like, Sony released The Shallows, and I'm really dying to know if The Shallows will hold up, and in 4 weeks' time, if The Shallows is above Ghostbusters in the standings, because Ghostbusters is Sony as well. I could really see Ghostbusters maybe not falling the way Warcraft did, but I could really see Shallows lasting, whereas Ghostbusters kind of takes a nosedive, and that would be quite funny to me.
Rubberneckers, I feel like people who actually want to see Ghostbusters are going to go see it, and so are the Rubberneckers. People are just like, ooh, this is a fucking shit show over here.
Yeah, yeah. Holy shit. It is as bad as everybody's saying.
If it is as bad as everybody's saying, if it is as bad as everybody's worried about, then the word of mouth on that's going to spread pretty damn quick, and it's just going to tank. Worse than Warcraft, I think.
Warcraft's really bad, man. I don't know if that's possible.
Well, I'm just I don't even I when it comes to the foreign market, I can't even predict that shit because I have no idea what the fuck's even going on there, right? Like I'm not from a foreign market, so I couldn't tell you what the fuck they're thinking when they're going to see these movies, right? I couldn't have told you that Warcraft would be getting like 90% of its money from foreign markets. 200 million in China alone.
Yeah, yeah, that's well. Here's what's fun, and it makes me smile inside. Um, so as much as China's been like this bailout market for theaters or for studios, there's this law in China about movies with ghosts and paranormal elements that they do not allow. So what the fuck? How bad could it get for Ghostbusters if it's not allowed to be shown in China?
Oh, that won't be in, I don't think it will be in China.
Right.
That's the case. Like, and it makes sense because you never see those horror movies going to China.
Yeah, they blocked Crimson Peak recently. So apparently Pacific Rim was blocked too. I don't know how the fuck why Pacific Rim was blocked. There wasn't ghosts in that, was there?
Not to my knowledge.
It's really strange.
Yeah.
So yeah, they even blocked Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest, which the pirates turned into ghosts in the moonlight. But if you take Ghostbusters out of China, I don't know. Does it even make 200 million? Like worldwide?
I think there are people in maybe in France and the UK and Japan who want to see it, but I don't know if those markets are big enough to. They're no China.
Right, right. And I think like a good session in some place like France is like 10 million. So even if they do well in some place like France, it's only like 10 million, 15 million.
They'd have to kill in Russia and South Korea and all these other Mexico. They'd have to absolutely kill, and I don't see it happening.
Yeah, and
it's sad. It's so sad because I really wanted to see what was coming after this. It's just talking about like, well, they created this whole fucking studio, like a side studio kind of thing to do nothing but Ghostbusters projects at Sony, and they were going to do an animated Ghostbusters movie after this. And I was like, well, that sounds pretty damn cool to me, but I don't like if this is as bad as it looks like it's going to be. Like if it doesn't sell as well as they need it to, we're never going to see those projects. That studio is going the way of the dodo real quick.
Well, it's Sony, and they keep making these stupid mistakes, and they kind of owned up to Spider-Man. So maybe they say, you know what, we fucked up. We fucked up with Ghostbusters, but it's a property that we could really exploit. So let's hit the reset button, and maybe the absolute failure of this actually gives us something that we really want, like maybe they somehow give us Ghostbusters 3 the way that they can, and have it be some sort of passing of the torch thing where you still give Dan Aykroyd, you give the remaining guys, you get it done because shit, who knows? You don't want another one of them to die. You have them pass the torch. You have it be like, they're retiring. You'd even have it be that the Egon character died because, he's a scientist. He could have done something in the field where he died, and you have that. And
you know what they should do? They should make a movie based on the new Ghostbusters comic series, which I have read. It's fucking phenomenal. It is amazing. It is everything you ever wanted to see out of like a continuation of the Ghostbusters story. And it does that in a lot of different ways. Like, yeah, the original Ghostbusters are still there, but they're also introducing all these new Ghostbusters to everything. And
That's cool.
yeah, I feel like if they can do it in comic books, they can do it on the fucking big screen.
Right.
They've taken comic books and put them on the big screen before, and pretty well. And you're gonna have to make just as many changes to the source material from the comics as you would with anything else.
Sure.
You're gonna do with a comic book franchise. So, like, I don't know why they don't do that. People love the Ghostbusters comics. Why don't they actually try to, like, make that work as a film franchise? I don't get it.
Yeah, if you have
if they had put that up, people would not be complaining right now. People would be like really happy and excited.
well, not just anything but what they are right now. There's just like fucking nuclear hate. Like, even if it's just like they're army men or like firefighters, where it's kind of like there's a bit of a turnover. Like, I don't know. It's got to be better than what they've got going now. Like, I just feel like they know that there's a brand there, so have it be about the brand and not the people. I guess you have the ghosts be more of a thing. I read somewhere that they were crisscrossing. They were doing a Ghostbusters 21 Jump Street. Did I read that right? They were trying to combine the two properties. Yeah, you would think, or maybe it was 21 Jump Street and Men in Black. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Right. And I was thinking Men in Black and Ghostbusters. That makes sense.
Yes. Oh my God, that'd be perfect. They're both in New York. That's perfect.
And they're both Sony. Like, it's just like, you guys aren't using your head.
Seriously, if they had been thinking about this shit, they would be on that. What the hell?
Right. Men in Black and Ghostbusters, like, there it is.
Just anybody watching this right now, tell me you don't want to see that right now. Tell me you don't want to see Men in Black and Ghostbusters right now. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I'm hyped.
Yeah.
This has to happen now. What the hell?
Like, it literally can be like 90% Men in Black too, where it's just like Ghostbusters is like it just exists in that universe, and they crisscross, and it's a thing where it's like, oh, it's an alien. No, actually, it's a ghost. So we got to go call these guys, and there's your 7-movie project there. Like what, guys? Like, are you even trying? Like seriously?
Are you even trying?
Is there a dartboard?
If it's Tom Rothman, just leave me a message saying 765. Just 765. It's a code. I'll understand it. All right. If it's Tom Rothman mucking everything up at Sony, just that code will tell me everything I need to know.
They have a dartboard with like boxes of ideas, and it's like, oh, all women. Okay, we'll do that.
We don't know what people want to see, so. The thing about the Ghostbusters comic is that a lot of the new Ghostbusters are women. It's not like a 100% all woman thing, right? It's not, we're doing it all female because that's what people want to see because of sexism and blah, blah. No. It's just, we're doing female characters because they work for these
yes.
Like, they are really great characters. They're really great Ghostbusters in the comics. And I don't understand why they couldn't have, like, tried to recreate that in the movies. One of them is like a kind of gothy chick too, and I love it.
It's I don't know what it is. I'm excited. Like you said, that the train, people slow down next to a car accident. I'm excited for a bunch of reasons to see what the fuck happens with this movie. And because they finally woke up and acknowledged that Spider-Man, they totally fucked it. So who knows? They've been so stubborn. about Ghostbusters, and I don't know why. Like, I don't know where their fucking confidence came from, but I'm dying for them to get kicked right in the nuts and be like, oh, I guess it wasn't sexism. I guess this just sucks a giant crank. Like what?
Or are they just gonna keep holding on to that? I don't know.
Yeah. You know what they could.
No doubt that there is a certain segment of the population that doesn't want to see this movie because they are sexist. But I just don't think. I don't think that it's the largest portion of, people out there who don't want to see this.
Right, because there was the same thing, same elements for Star Wars because of the lead was a female, and Star Wars came out and it was a good movie, or not bad. It wasn't bad, so that kind of died down. It wasn't that big a deal after the movie came out. What's that?
And it sold very well. And the same thing, a similar kind of thing is happening with Rogue One as well.
Yes.
But I have a feeling that's going to be a fantastic movie.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, you'd be surprised what a good movie does to bullshit. Like, it really heals all. When the movie's all right, people don't really give a shit about things anymore. And if it ends up being the shit show that it appears to be,
what I'm most interested in seeing, actually, when does that Bad Moms come out?
The week after, the 22nd.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how well Bad Moms does against Ghostbusters. I think it could even beat out Ghostbusters. And I will laugh if that happens. Just like Bad Moms beats out Ghostbusters. A female-driven comedy beats out this female-driven comedy nobody wanted to see. Like, of course.
Yeah.
I have a feeling Bad Moms could be very successful. I think there's a big enough audience that would want to see that. I'm not interested myself because, it's not a movie for me.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't think it looks bad. I think it looks like something that would sell to bad moms. Well, to a female audience that doesn't always have content catered to them.
Yeah.
So,
it's further proof that the studios just, if it sort of works, they just copy it, cut and paste, and keep going. Like this bad movie movement.
Oh, yeah.
Like bad Santa, bad grandpa, bad moms, bad words. Like, fucking guys, do you have to go right down to copying the fucking the bad formula? Like, holy shit.
What's next? A lot of good this, good that?
Yeah. Like,
reminds me of don't go into the basement, don't go here, don't go there, don't open the door.
They start with the title and work their way down. Guys, I got a great movie. Bad People. So we're just going to have a movie about really bad people. Give me something. We don't have any scripts for bad people. All right, we'll work from there. What? No.
Well, we'll get Seth Rogen on it, and
I've got this really cool sci-fi drama about aliens and the Antarctic. No. Fuck that. I want bad people made. Oh, okay.
I think this could be the next The Thing, though. Like,
No. No, it sounds too risky. Well, we've been on for a while. Let's talk about last week, and then we can talk about next week. So Peter and I had our predictions last week. It was quite. I did all right. Peter's got to put up his I was wrong tweet this week. That was our gamble once again. Peter's lost. He said that Independence Day was going to come in number 1, Dory number 2. He was wrong. We both picked Central Intelligence at 3. We were both right. I had The Conjuring at 2. I was incorrect. He had Shallows coming in at 4. I had Shallows at 5. Obviously, that was wrong. And he had The Conjuring 2 at number 5, which I think it was 6. He wasn't very far off with that because Free State of Jones miraculously somehow beat it. So there was last week. This upcoming, actually, you know what? I should probably leave that up. So we're gonna have a guest predictor this week because he's here. We'll probably try to get another thing with Peter later on in the week. Hopefully, maybe like this last week where we did it on Thursday. But so there's this. You can look at this. Actually, you know what? I'll take this down. It'll be a lot easier to choose from the 10 list. Where are you? Here you are. So we usually predict the top 5, Justin. This week, you have to add to this list Tarzan, the BFG, and the Purge. Who are your predictions for the top 5?
Oh man,
I can go if you're not ready yet. I think
yeah.
I honestly think Finding Dory is going to do it again.
Wow.
I think
Really?
I think Finding Dory for a 3rd week. BFG at 2nd.
Oh wow.
Independence Day at 3. And then I guess I'll say fucking Tarzan at 4. And Shallows at 5.
Where did you put the Purge? You didn't put the Purge on there?
6.
Oh wow. You don't think it's gonna do that well? Yeah.
I mean, I guess I should go 1 through 10, right? Just to really, because it really is. It's incredible how many movies we're getting now. It's.
Oh,
Right,
I know, right?
So yeah, I guess I have. I had Dory at 1. I had BFG at 2. Independence Day at 3. Tarzan at 4, right? And then I had Shallows at 5. Yeah, I'll give Purge 6. I'll do Central Intelligence 7. God damn it.
There's too many movies.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Conjuring 8. Free State of Jones 9. Alice Through the Looking Glass 10. Only because it's been hanging out at 10 for so long. All right, there's my 10. Jesus, you could probably do 15 and really still have a cluttered mess.
Well, I got my top 5 figured out at least. I'll figure out the rest as I go along. But I am gonna be the fucking Hail Mary. Independence Day is gonna be number 1 at the box.
That's awesome. I kind of hope you're right, actually.
But number 2 is gonna be Finding Dory. I'm expecting that to be like 40 mil, something like that.
It's not dying, man.
It's not gonna die. You know, dropping from 73 to 40 million isn't gonna be a horrible drop. It's just can be. Most people have already seen it once or twice. They're probably with all the other options not going to see it again.
I think it's like already like 28th all time domestic or something. It's it's cruising.
For number 3, it kills me to say this, but I'm gonna put The Purge election year number 3.
Whew.
And BFG number 4.
I hope you're right. I literally hope this is all correct because that would be incredible.
That would be sad to me. I want to see BFG do better, but I just don't think it will. Tarzan is number 5. Let's see. What else have we got? There's all these movies. Let's see here. I'm going to put Shallows at number 6.
Yeah.
Let's see. Free State of Jones at number 7. What? No. Central Intelligence at number 7. Free State of Jones number 8.
Okay.
Conjuring 2, number 9. And
So crazy.
Yeah, I'm going all over the place. I guess Alice in the Looking Glass, number 10.
If it ain't broke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's our predictions. Like I said, we'll probably have Peter drop in, or I'll get it from him sometime. I would be surprised if he couldn't get something else going, even from his house, just to have like a little quickie. Season finale of Game of Thrones. Yeah, it was okay.
I haven't seen it yet.
All right, yes. So no spoilers. That's that. So, there it is for this last weekend. Anything to close with? Just anything surprise you, or like really shock you, or are you exciting you for last week, this week?
Well, I was really unhappy with how Neon Demon did, but I was very happy about The Shallows.
You said you saw it though, right?
Yeah.
Is it worth people going to see?
I'll say to you what I said after seeing it. Nobody is going to want to see this movie. Nobody. It's just one of those movies that it appeals to a certain audience, and that certain audience is not. They're in France. You know, it's not a very big audience that's going to enjoy this movie. But
was it you, or I think it was Mia who said it, that it was kind of like Suspiria?
It was Skin Slip, and yeah, okay. That's a very good comparison to make. It has a very Suspiria kind of feel to it, and it's just slow. You know, that's the problem. I can deal with that. I've been watching movies for fucking ever. I watch a bunch of fucking movies, and I'm familiar with slow, and I don't necessarily think it's a flaw of a film.
Sure.
But most people are going to see a slow movie and be like, what the fuck? What is this? What's even going on?
I planned my day around this. I don't want to be all in a slow movie. I came to see the 7:25 show specifically.
There are a lot of what the fuck moments in it, but that's good. Honestly, it's gonna be. It reminds me of like weird fucking Skinamax movies that I saw when I was younger. You know, and that's not a bad thing. It's just you know,
booby.
It's different. It's why is it in the summer?
Yeah, as far as scheduling is concerned, they're just all asleep at the fucking wheel. Like genuinely, like Warner, the whole Batman Superman thing. I'll give you that nobody saw Deadpool being what it was. I'll give you that. But moving it up to March, like what the fuck were you thinking?
Some people know what they're doing when it comes to scheduling, and some people just you need to hold the other people.
Disney slash, you're not even Disney, Marvel. Like they know what the fuck they're doing. They make early May releases work somehow, and then Warner's like, yeah, we'll go even further up, and it's like, no, guys, you like your audience is like teenagers and shit. You're playing to teenagers because God forbid you make a fucking R-rated movie anymore. So you're playing to teenagers, but most of them are in school at this point. That's why you wait till fucking June, July, early August to do this shit. And nobody like do they even like fucking care? Like pay attention.
I think August would have been a great time for Batman versus Superman. August, it probably would have done really well. But there's not much it has to go up against, except for Doctor Strange, which is a month or two out from there. So.
Oh, there are.
Well, there's Suicide Squad, yeah, but.
There's that.
You flip Suicide Squad with that, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Is that Warner? I think it is Warner that's doing Suicide Squad.
You're scared now?
Yeah, I get. No, Batman. Like it's what it all comes back to. The names alone, Batman and Superman. Like that's that's Coca-Cola. Like that should sell tickets alone. Like it's. I give Zack Snyder a lot of credit for really taking the Batman and Superman names and making them quite an interesting repellent, because man, that's hard. It's hard to do that. Also, a fun little note that it's getting a one-day. The R-rated version is in like 10 theaters tomorrow. Tomorrow only, the R-rated version of Batman vs Superman is. I think it's in like New York, Boston, L.A., Chicago, but like on like literally one theater per city. I don't know what that means. It'd be hysterical if they sell out and they're like, all right, well, let's give the R-rated version a run.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think so either. It would be hysterical.
So soon to the release of the Blu-ray, I don't think, and well, VOD, I don't think that they're going to.
I think actually VOD comes out this week, doesn't it? I think VOD this week, and then the Blu-rays. Yeah. The Blu-rays 2 weeks from now, I think. But you know what? Zootopia was still kicking around in the theaters when it was out on, like, it was released on Blu-ray like a month ago, and
it was still in theaters. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, do you have anything to plug for your channel?
No, not really. I'm going to be doing a couple of videos, but they're mostly just pickup videos, Blu-ray DVD pickups.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for filling in. We'll probably see you again sometime in the future, even if it's for a special edition or what have you.
All right.
If you're watching in the future, I will have Justin/Stoudman's information down below, so please go check him out. Give him a sub, a like, a comment, all of the above. So that's it for this week's edition of Show Business, the June 24th through 26th edition. BMG, Bearded Movie Guy, should be back hopefully soon, next week, this week, whatever. Tomorrow night or tonight, depending on when you're watching it, I will be interviewing Oklahoma and Nicole from Crawl or Die. It'll be a fun little interview. They're going to talk about their budget, the sequel, the Blu-ray. So go ahead and check that out. 6 p.m. Eastern here on Will I Like It. Otherwise, have a day.